going.
It's all about the face. All right, so we did it.
Yeah, that was first public event at our home range.
Yes, first one. It was a year of prep, basically, just under a year, because we
Well-
started with a simple idea, and then just kind of like molded the clay and pottery into a vase.
Yeah. Whatever makes you happy.
I like the idea.
Yeah. Well, anyways, you were match director, and then I was being assistant director, or assistant.
And you were demonstrator.
Yeah,
And timing.
Yeah, and just resetting up the course after each run.
Yeah, so the way we split it, like, I was in charge of the safety and the match direction, and you did timing, spotting. You were the demonstrator as I verbally walked everybody through it, and we kind of combined the two aspects. It was a great split. Like, we worked well together.
Yeah, because problem is like the time to reset the stages and like do all the admin work and then like get people ready and then like trying to answer people's questions and stuff like that's like, so it makes it quicker that I didn't shoot or you didn't shoot.
Yeah, like it was all about running it.
Yeah, all about running it, and then that's why we did the guinea pig stages previously to see what needs to be worked on, and also what could be, not just as a shooter perspective, but also the admin perspective.
Oh yeah, we wanted to balance it out because the intent is to eventually, hopefully, get to the point where we can compete in it as well and still run it
officially
overwatch it, but also have other staff and organizers from the club and whatnot.
Yeah.
And this was a proof of concept. We had a good turnout. We had people in each category, which was great because having somebody in each category competing, you didn't just have one category and tailor everything to that, but we also had to reset for this one, focus on that. Like, we really got tested fairly, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like, we didn't, originally it was 3 stages, and then depending on time, because we didn't know how long it would take to reset, and anyways, to get everybody running through, we were able to squeeze in a 4th bonus stage.
Kind of a fun closer. Yeah. And that one, well, you talk about that one.
Yeah, that was just the fun pistol house. It was just like just to test accuracy rather than just speeding. We didn't time it. We just like actually I think it was one of the drills that we did yesterday.
Yes, it was called the House of Frustration.
Yeah.
Which from my watching everybody go through it at the end of the day, so you had the 3 categories. You had battle tested, you had intermediate, and you had your masters. So battle tested is the people that did the most work and the most weights and everything. Everybody shot the same amount of targets. It was just the work effort beforehand. Mm-hmm. So with the House of Frustration, now everybody, all 3 categories, could compete on a level field because it was just pistol.
Yeah.
And it was a fun way for everybody. So we saw the Masters guy. He went through first, had a great time, and then since he went first, he learned from everybody else's stuff afterwards. He was like, man, I wish I could go again now.
Yeah.
But again, it put everybody on a level playing field. And it was really neat to watch them do that.
Yeah, and then also like just getting people's feedback, what they like, what they didn't like, and then like what can we go around, and how their experience was, because we wanted to find out that is this even possible to do.
Yeah, first we wanted to validate it.
Yeah. And
then second was to get the feedback. Now you said things that they didn't like. The biggest thing people didn't like was having to move the 160 pounds.
Yeah, that was a lot, man. I think we might change the weight limits of some of the categories.
I think in the battle tested one, the 160 pounds, because it's similar to dragging an injured person behind you, right? So we might change, because it was a pallet. It was literally just a pallet, because we were using things you can get pretty much anywhere to build this up.
Yeah.
And it was a wooden pallet, which is not the easiest thing to drag, which is why I kind of went with that instead of a metal sled or whatever.
Yeah.
We might change the harness or the different ways and things like that, but I think it was fun.
Yeah, everyone had a good time.
The feedback, there was no negative comments.
It was mostly constructive, like just to see what things we could do to like make it a little bit more efficient. Not to like nitpick, it wasn't like bad things, just like small little things on our end that we could have like done.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like I think one of them was one of the guys got too focused and skipped one part of it,
Yes.
and they were like, and then we were all, what was it called? On the sidelines, they were like, "Yeah, you're missing.
Yeah.
You missed I missed the shooting position." You're like, then you end up going back.
Yeah, and in
But
this
it's
one,
just-
we didn't have any rules against outside coaching stuff because we were, it was
Yeah.
the first one encouraging everybody to be part of the team and work with. And the other last, I don't want to say last because I don't know what else to add, but the one thing that I want to add definitely is that we had different calibers of experience from the shooters.
Yeah.
They'd never, and each one of them had admitted that they'd never done anything like this before.
Yeah.
But these guys were IPSC shooters, they were clay shooters, they like very experienced group of
Yeah,
shooters.
they're all different types of background experience.
But
Yeah.
used to competitive shooting.
Yeah, used to
Different
competitive
styles.
shooting, but not all mishmashed into like this. Because like the first stage in the earlier videos you'll have seen is that the first stage was the 100-meter diamond. You had to shoot a little 3-inch diamond
At 100 meters, yeah.
So, but you would have to run back and forth. So it's like all the guys we talked to were like, "Yeah, I've shot from the bench at 100, no problem. I could do that."
Yes.
And everybody knows they can make that shot.
Yeah.
And everybody did. But it was just like when they came back after doing adding this just a simple thing as the 100-meter. That's 200. Sorry, 100
So
meter.
200 meter run and including the house. The
Yeah,
pistol
including
house.
the pistol house. That the combination of everything is like, yeah. Even though you're back at the bench at 100, you just did a 200-meter run, right?
Yeah.
And that changes everything.
Like your heart rate's going. You've done the
Oh, yeah.
pistol shooting. Everybody enjoyed that because that was
Yeah.
the first event, and that kind of shocked them into okay, that's what's
Yeah.
ahead of me today.
Yeah, it's not just like we're trying to combine all the skill sets from like from vast walks of experience here,
Yeah.
and then trying to mishmash it and then learn from it. That's
Yeah.
the major one.
Exactly. And today we had athletes. The age gaps was 28 to 63.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go.
and the experience levels, like you said earlier, were all over the place. So, moving forward, I'm happy with the way it went. I'm happy with the feedback that we got.
Oh yeah. Still got a lot of work to do, but
Yeah. So 1 point to improve that you moving forward. What one area would you
I would say.
finesse for the next one?
I'll probably say, well, you should put up like somebody suggested this earlier is make a quick demonstration video on what the event is.
Yes.
Because reading it in a newsletter is not the same as like even a 30-second video of just
So marketing.
yeah, a little bit of marketing, I guess, but because people are like, what is this? This, in the back of their heads, in their minds, are like, some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't. But then you're like, oh, here's a run. Okay, that just explains everything I needed to know.
Yeah. And so the word that you've been throwing around this weekend was context.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There you
and that
go.
makes sense with that one.
Yeah.
For me, yeah, it's the same thing. I'm hooked on the marketing, the context of that because we kept it very low key and just put it to the members of the club.
Yeah. It was a trial run.
Just a trial one, and this also validated us for the club of okay, these guys know what they're doing.
Yeah, that's
it's
right.
safe, it's fun, and it's interesting. They can do it again.
Yeah, and one of the major things I learned that we did from the trial run, the guinea pig runs that we did, to the actual runs that we cut down on like admin stuff, like resetting targets as much as possible. So,
Yes.
Or like we basically, I think we cut off all the paper targets.
Yeah. So the scoring was eliminated completely.
Yeah, so everything was just time based. So because the problem is that we would after every shooter's run, we would need to go up all the way up to the down to the bay, grab a marker and like tick off
Yeah.
the thing, and then or resticker them or whatever. Anyways, that would have taken 2 minutes in, 2 minutes out, and times the amount of people are going through.
And-
that would have added like probably I would say close to an hour.
So a year from now, when we have say 10 staff, because
Yeah.
this was just the two of us that were administrating.
Yeah, we're
this.
trying to yeah.
So having 10 staff down the road, that would be easier because you've got the people to manage it. But just the two of us doing it, we kept it very simple, reactive targets,
Yeah.
very simple, very fluid. Everybody had a great time.
Yeah, the targets practically reset themselves.
Yeah, exactly. And the weather. I don't know if you can,
Oh,
can
yeah.
see that. That's how well the weather was.
I'm not too bad. I got a little burn.
And in the last week, I'll leave that up there. I'm getting some white flare. We basically just left winter here in Canada and got up to 20 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. And yeah, that's the difference. That's just from today, and that was great. We did have one person that was like, they felt like they had reached their limit and their wall, and just a little bit of coaching, and they continued to push forward and finish the event instead of giving up on themselves. And they were super pumped.
Yeah, I was definitely, take a breather and
move forward.
That's it.
And hopefully we've got some video to clip into this. There's so many people shooting video that we didn't shoot video because we were administering it. So we hope you enjoy what we're doing, and if you don't, well, try harder and keep watching.
All
right, Wimpy? Okay.